Howdy everybody. Welcome to day 9 of the 25 Days of Christmas series going on my channel. Sorry about the crappy voice, but well, it's just one of those froggy throat days. So I'm just dealing with it. At least I'm feeling better with my kidneys and everything, so I am going to plow into a couple of days worth of videos today, but of course they will be released separately. So today, as you can see, I have the deer with the moon. So my plan is this bronze again for the deer. I was thinking about dusting it in, but I'm not too sure I want to do that. I think I'm going to pour into the deer, but first I'm going to dust here. So clear will follow, and the dusting will be with this silvery white and a smidge of the yellow mixed in. I was thinking about this gold for the deer, but I think I'll add just a smidge of that to the bronze. So what I'll do is grab my little mica brush here. Of course, I didn't have that ready. And that's not my mica brush, so what did I do with it? Oh, for Pete's sake, right? Get your act together. There it is. This is the larger one. It's just a makeup brush. This is a paint brush, so I could actually brush the golden bronze in, and I think I'll do that instead. So I'm going to get those two colors mixed up, get my resin heating, and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I've kind of decided that I want a different type of deer. I do want them Christmassy colors. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this gold and I'm going to put it in his antlers. Ooh. And of course hit the top on the way out right. I'm going to turn him the way I can see him a little better. So I've not used this mold before. So I don't know how well this mica is sticking to it. But I do want the sides of the antlers done. It's not all that deep of a mold. Sorry, my breathing will be slightly labored. I'm breathing through a mask. And of course, if you've seen my other videos, you know that I have COPD, emphysema to be exact, and I did it to myself because I was a follower at one time, and of course followed the crowd and began smoking at 12 years of age. In all this time, let me see, that's 52 years, no, 51 years now. I spent 6 months not being a smoker, just only 6 months, and if I had stayed quit at that time, I might have saved myself a little bit of trouble here. And unfortunately, I don't have the stamina to quit again, so I'm going to get my switching sponge out. I can't thank Queen Maleficent enough for this gift. This was the best gift I've ever had pretty much in my life, almost. I mean, it's right up there in the top 5. So I'm going to try to wipe out that excess gold that just went into the head. For that, I'll use a cotton bud and a little bit of water. You don't actually need alcohol, just plain simple water. Yes, it would be nice if I had my little water bottle with me. So, one moment. Let's go ahead and spray some water right here on the mat for that cleanup. Okay. Yes, I don't have a glove on the left hand at this point. But it will go on when I go to mix the resin. I have the glove on right now on my right because I anticipated cleaning up, and you always get everything on you when you're using your dominant hand. A little bit more out and then I'll be happy. And then just use the dry end of the Q-tip / cotton swabby. Brush it all back up towards the antlers. Now there's going to be a little residual. There always is. But when I put the bronze in, that will help to pretty much hide it because it's so little. Okay. That's not heating up too well. I'll give it a little bit more time, but I may have to check its level. I had to move my entire process out of the room yesterday because I had the resin curing for yesterday's video, and well, I think my husband might have accidentally readjusted the temperature setting. And it's definitely not hard to readjust it on accident. Not when you're grabbing cords and doing all that stuff. Trying to get things moved. Might have to switch over to the smaller brush for these little areas here. And I don't want to flip all that bronze into the moon. Okay, I'm going to set that down. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do my little dusting here real fast. And yes, I'm just going to sprinkle some in. I decided not to mix it that way. Believe it or not, that's a lot of dust, of mica powder. And I'm going to do the same thing with the silver white. If I can get it to come out. There it goes. Now I want a little bit more of the silver white than I do the yellow. Whoa, no. No, 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 no. That's a little bit much. I don't want the bendy spoon for this. Okay, that'll do. Okay, I put those two things out of the way. I'm going to grab a baby wipe real fast. Just wipe my hand down a little. Alright. I'm going to use the switching sponge or thing. Oh my goodness, I just buried it. Haha. Let's get that back up here. I do this sideways at first so it takes the majority off before I start doing this. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting hiccups again. I do hope I get the result I'm looking for doing this, but we shall see. Get these sides covered. I'm going to take all the excess down to one side. Froggy, froggy, froggy throat. Because I intend to get rid of this excess mica into the cup I'm going to be mixing into. And my clear will be colored with however it just comes out. I should say my resin, because it won't be clear when this goes in, right? Alright, I think I've gotten everything covered that needs to get covered. Oops, I just went into the deer's foot. Put that down. Let's see if we can get that sort of mixed in at least with some of this brown. Okay, not brown. Bronze. Is that what it is? Yes, bronze. Now I shouldn't worry about the bronze down into the moon now, because I've already covered the moon, and that was the purpose of doing that. Okay. Alright, a little brush is cleaned off. And now, so I don't make a mess of my hands, let's get this bronze closed. Get my other glove on. Alright, it's heating better. Okay, so let's brush all this excess here down to the one end. Try to control what comes out of it, right? Or where it goes anyway. And it also helps me to make sure I've got my sides covered. Almost down there. dip this into the cup. Ooh, boy, poopy, huh? That's why you wear a dust mask, at least. The best type are painter's masks. Okay. I think I'm good with that. Get some of that dust. Okay, so let's do a little quick cleanup. Set this aside. While I do that, I won't need this little cup or these two items. Put the switching spoon over here, or lid over there. And get these two items over to the side. And grab out a wet wipe, baby wipe. Get up what I can of this loose stuff. I will say the bronze does sort of stick to your mat a bit. Let's get these out of the way for a moment. And as you're wiping, you want to make sure that if you feel a bubble pop up under your mat, wipe it out. Kind of literally squeegee it out. Okay, we're cleaned up enough. Alright, all that's left to do now is put the mold back and mix the two resins, which is about a 5-minute ordeal. And then mix them and then pour. So that's what we'll do real fast if you don't mind waiting. I have A and B on these cups because I'm not going to clean these right away so that they will be ready for my next project. And they are labeled A and B. I always pour the B in first. It's always the thinner. And you want it at the bottom so that as you stir, it'll mix better with your A. The longest part of this whole thing is scraping these cups. And I'm going to scrape it on this side so I can press hard enough to remove some more out of here. Always keep your eye on where your spout is so that you don't drip it where you don't want it. Pick up what residuals you can on your stick. Let's set that sideways for a second and go ahead and move this just in case. And you do want as much of your hardener and resin out of these cups as you can get. Always try to temper your cup from tipping. Especially if you're heavy-handed, kind of like I am. Oh, goody, I see a fuzzy. Let's get rid of that. Let's see what I got left down in there. A little bit more that can come out. Now I keep the sticks as well inside their respective cups so that I can reuse those. Now that being B, all I do is I leave the stick in and put that over so that there's no dust getting in. However, if you're really smart, you will take a craft knife, grab mine real fast, and create just a slot. Just enough for your stick to come through. Of course, judging where that stick is a little difficult. So if you don't mind having to clean your glove, grab the bottom, find your little slot there. I've got it there. There we go. And voila, safer, less liable to tip over. Alright, let me get my fingers wiped off here. And for the A. And yes, I will go slightly fast, so I'm not having to clean it off of the side. And yes, I do begin scraping right away so that I can get it out of there faster. Always follow the same channel. Oop, I got a little hair there. One moment. Boy, that's a stubborn one. It seems to be stuck in the wood. There we go. That should have given some of the resin a chance to settle all the way back down again. Now remember, if you think my videos are long, please, don't skip. You'll miss a lot of things, but if you speed me up, you just go up to the settings. You can speed me up to ×2. I'll sound like a chipmunk, because sometimes, like with myself, I do sometimes speak fast. Not very slow at it. So I'll sound like that chipmunk. But you'll still be able to understand most of me. So if you're interested in what I'm doing and explaining, that's the easiest way to do it. Okay, get that tip wiped off. get the side of the cup wiped off, or I've been touching it with the other glove that was touching resin. I don't know why I just stuck that in there, because it was supposed to go in here, but I'll just wipe it off real fast. So let's just wipe it off real fast. Yes, the clue is if you don't want to destroy your little stick while you're still having to work, is don't stick it in the mix. That's why I use separate sticks. So what I'm going to do is get my A topper, get it cut real fast. I'm sorry I didn't do this part before. And to make it easier to find, make that hole just a little bit larger. And okay, now it's set. Move those back a little further so that when I put my net over this, yes, you've got just a few moments to be able to do a little bit of getting things out of the way, so that when you mix your resin, and I do have my mixing stick right here, so let's get that mixed. Let's get rid of that in case I am dumb enough to try to use it when I'm doing my hand cleanup. Okay. And because I'm doing so many videos in such a short period of time, all the time right now, as I did with my Halloween series, this time I have opted for paper cups. I don't normally. I like using my silicone because they're reusable, they're cleanable, and I may have to mix more. I'm not sure. But right now, expediency is what counts. Scrape the bottom really well, back and forth, one way, another. And because this is a cheapy plastic cup, don't scrape too hard, because if you do, you're going to go right through the bottom of this cup. Now, because it's got colorant in it, how do you know if your resin is thoroughly mixed? If you follow a simple guideline of scrape, remember where your scrape side is and line, and then take it from the top down. See if I can get a better view of that for you. So you wipe it on your side, and then you just take the tip and scrape it down in there, just like that. Always keep scraping your sides. Stir your resin 2 different ways, and mix in the middle, mix outwards. Mix in the middle, outwards, back into the middle, and then back the other way. And you do this for 3 to 4 minutes. 5 minutes if you got colorant, which I do. And I'm going to try to make it less than the 5 minutes, because I believe it is mixed now. Alright, next thing to do, pour it in and hope I have enough. Otherwise, I gotta mix some more, but I'll mix clear only. Okay, here we go. Let's get this brought back over. And I'm going to start pouring in the bronze area first so that it gets up into those antlers. Get this poured. Now more than likely I'll have some bleed through from the bronze, but because this has been dusted with powders, bubbles are going to be the only problem because of the antlers being so small. So this was 100 ml that I mixed up. And I'm going to say, I think that was it. 100 ml for this here particular mold. Now it's not completely domed. But if you have a deburring tool, you can always clean the sides if it's a problem for you. You can also add a backfill if you want. And yes, I've gone over the tops of the antler parts, but it's still leveling out right now. So I'm not worried about that. Okay. All that's left to do is to put my tent over it and let it cure. So I am starting to cure. It's actually been started because the heat mat has been on. However, I still let it go a full 2 hours because my weather is a little crazy here. It's cold and it's weird, but now I did put my tent. Oh, I'll be right back, everybody. My tent is in the other room, unfortunately, so give me half a second. Alright, as I've explained before, this is just an ordinary food tent that I cover this with. If I can get it open. There we go. Gonna move some micas real fast out of the way. Maybe get my craft knife out of there so I can put it away too. Alright. And I just place it over the top completely. That helps keep things filtered out. And then the next time, or the next thing I do, is a plastic garbage bag, just left flat, unopened, goes over the top, and this helps create an oven-like experience for your resin and will help it cure a lot faster. Alright, I'll be back when it's cured, everybody. Okay, it wasn't quite steady enough to pull out, but it was setting up. It wasn't leaving marks. So I thought all it needed to do was cool faster. So what I did was, we have really cold tap water here, and I took it to the bathroom, and that's what I did. I ran it under the tap water. Now I did notice that there are several bubbles that formed. Let's see if I can get that in there. A few along here. I'll get that somehow. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one right up here. And I think that's one there, or it could just be unmixed mica. I think it's unmixed mica in that spot. So I'm going to put it flat down, and we're going to begin loosening this right here. And I do want to get most of it loosened before I get to the deer. It will, of course, take a while longer to cure fully and harden, but I want to take this out while the resin is still slightly soft. Just so I don't break anything off. Get that all loosened up. There we go. Got the moon freed up. Got that portion of the deer. Ouch. And I'm hoping that by doing it this way, the antlers will release easier. And I'm just going to push a little bit as I go. Got some of the antlers loosened out of there. We'll be ready to see this in a moment. Hopefully with all of its antlers. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, and lift. Whoa. Wow. Oh my goodness. Even with that clumpy yellow, it looks like a spot on the moon. And a little bit of imagination will play in. I've got a little bit of over pour here, but I don't want to try really to peel that away while it's so soft. But I'll try to get that little bit right there. But it's done. Just that small amount of cleanup. I'm going to leave it flat like this so that I don't have horrendous edges to have to deal with. And in fact, let me see, bubble-wise, I just felt one. There's one here as well. So there's one there, one here. Okay, so there's one here. Let's see if I can get that up in the light. One there, and one here on either side of there. But for the most part, oh, and I can see one here as well. So that's my deer. And I just imagine him pulling Santa's sleigh across the sky. Okay, everybody, this was fun. So now you know that when your resin is set enough so that you're not leaving paw prints on it or hoof prints, that you can actually run it under cold water. It'll stiffen much more so that you can attempt to pull your product out of your mold. Alright, if you liked the video, thumbs up. If you learned anything, thumbs up. If you learned I'm a goof, yes, thumbs up, of course. Thank you to my longtime subscribers. You guys are wonderful. And you new subscribers, you're so awesome. Thank you for joining on the channel here and subscribing and commenting. I'm loving it. Like I said, I do respond to every comment and try to answer every question. If I don't know an answer, of course, I will go and find the answer to it, or I will contact somebody that has that answer and let you have that information to at least go and see their video or go get information from them. Alright, you're all lovely people. Leave a comment and share. Awesome. Peace out.